Welcome to another food adventure with Getting Lost. Today we are doing another top 3 list. The top 3 list today we are doing is about Hokkien Mee. So join me after the intro where we will list my top 3 favorites Hokkien Mees in Singapore. Thank you for joining me. Today we are doing the top 3 Hokkien Mees in Singapore. At least my top 3 favorites so far. There's still lots of Hokkien Mees that I haven't tried yet, but I'll get to it soon. Anyway, Hokkien Mee is a very Singaporean dish, especially this version of Hokkien Mee, which is a very Singapore version. If you go to another part, even if you go to neighboring Malaysia, you order Hokkien Mee, another dish will come out. This dish is a uniquely Singaporean dish, available only in Singapore. So if you want to eat Hokkien Mee Singaporean style, you must eat it in Singapore. Other places just don't make it the same. This is Hokkien Mee. Hokkien Mee is a stir-fried noodle dish which is steeped in an aromatic stock made of pork bones and prawn heads. This noodle dish, comprising of yellow noodles and thick bee-hoon, has juicy prawns, squid, pork belly strips, egg, and sometimes crunchy fried pork lard that makes everything taste so good. It is served with sambal chili and a squeeze of lime juice that gives it an extra zing. As the name suggests, Hokkien Prawn Mee is created by Hokkiens, but its origins is a little bit uncertain. According to one account, the dish was originally known as Rochor Mee because it was first sold at Rochor Road, and a Hokkien ex-sailor created this dish in the 1930s and sold this dish at his stall at Rochor Road. Others suggested that the stall beside the 7-story hotel near Rochor Road first concocted this dish, hence its association to the road. Another story actually suggests that this dish was sold as early as 1880 by a Hokkien immigrant at Rochor Road. His Hokkien assistant set up a rival stall, but later shared his recipe with 4 Teochew friends who made a pact not to sell their dishes within 8 kilometers from each other. That's enough for the history of Hokkien Mee, and now we will get to the list. Honorable mentions. They almost made the list. This is ABC Brickworks Market and Food Centre. And in this place here, there's a shop that sells Hokkien Mee. The name of the shop is called Tiong Bahru Yishen Fried Hokkien Prawn Mee, and they only operate from 3 PM to 10:45 PM. So you can order a portion of $4, $5 or $6. And here is the noodles itself. This one here is the $6 portion. Okay, one thing good about this shop is it's the wet kind, where you can see there's lots and lots of food, soup stock that is at the bottom of the plate, which the soup stock itself is very flavorful. It's very delicious, and there's sambal also, very potent and flavorful. So basically, once you get your Hokkien Mee, mix everything up together and then eat it down, because the sambal itself does add in tons and tons of flavor, and it's delicious. Also, one more thing, the uncle that runs this stall is getting on in age, so you better eat it while he's still cooking the noodles. Let's start our top 3 list now, and let's start with this entry here, which is number 3. Next stop is at this place here called Tiong Bahru Market, because on the second floor there's actually a food center, and in the food center there's this shop here called Heng Fried Sotong Prawn Mee. They actually have prawn mee, and their price range from $3, $4 to $5. And this shop itself is also mentioned in the Michelin guide under the Big Gourmand section. So do come down and try the noodles itself. First of all, the soup stock that is used to cook the noodles here is very good. It's very flavorful. Not the most flavorful I've tasted, but very flavorful. And when he cooks in the noodles itself, it's actually absorbed into the noodles, but you can still taste the yellow noodle or the egg noodle taste when you eat the noodles. The sambal itself is also very good, and once you mix it together with the noodles, it does add in a lot of flavor into the noodles. But I'm afraid he doesn't give enough sambal, so you may need to ask him for more sambal. But overall, this is a very good Hokkien Mee because of the flavorful soup stock that is infused into the noodles itself, and it's very delicious. So you should come down and try. That's why this is my number 3 pick. Next up, number 2, the second best Hokkien Mee in Singapore. Welcome to Golden Mile Food Center, which is just opposite Golden Mile Complex. Here, there's lots and lots of good food. Because there's 2 floors of hawker stalls, and lots and lots of good food to be eaten here. And one of the good places here is at this place here, at basement 1, called Fried Hokkien Prawn Mee. Okay, this place here does sometimes have a lot of takeout order, so be prepared to wait. The wait here could be quite substantial. But one thing I have to say about this place is sometimes the standard is not consistent, but when they do the Hokkien Mee well, they really do it well. Once I got this plate of Hokkien Mee, the first thing you notice is while you're walking to your table is the smell that comes up from the noodles itself. It's so fragrant. Okay, the smell here is just so good. It's just the smell of really good, really well fried noodles. And if you also notice, the soup itself is also a bit dry, because what happened is all the goodness from the soup stock, the fragrance, the flavor, all has been absorbed into the noodles. And there's even a bit of the fragrance of the wok hei in the noodles itself. As you can see, the noodles here, very well fried. And the sambal itself is also very spicy. It's spicy, it numbs your tongue a bit, and they also give you a bit of cut chili together with with your Hokkien Mee. And one thing I must say is the portion size is not very big, but this dish itself is full of flavor, and they fry the noodles very well. So if you are lucky, and because like I said, their quality is not consistent, if you're lucky to get a good plate of noodles, the noodles itself is really good, really delicious. And that's why this is my number 2 pick. And finally, my number one, my first choice for the best Hokkien Mee in Singapore is, we are at Old Airport Road, at the Old Airport Road Food Centre and Shopping Mall, because this place is another famous hawker food centre in Singapore with lots and lots and lots of good food to eat. The whole first level here is full of hawker stores, and one of the famous hawker stores here is this place called Nam Sing Hokkien Prawn Mee. And this shop here does cook very good plates of Hokkien Mee. Okay, first of all, when you order it, okay, be prepared to wait, because this is another of those shops where people call in and place big orders. So this is the noodles itself. Okay, as you can see, there's no sambal. They serve this with cut chili, which is more of the original style of how they originally used to serve the Hokkien Mee. As you can see, the noodles itself is the thin noodles. The vermicelli noodles is actually thinner than the other noodles that you get normally. And one thing here, and this is another shop where when they do this well, they really do it well. Like I said, this is a shop where the quality is also not consistent. Sometimes when you come when they're too busy, you know, their noodles are not as good. But if you come at the right time, the noodles here is really flavorful. First of all, the soup stock here is super flavorful, and if you can notice here, the noodles here is also very dry, because all the soup stock has been totally infused into the noodles, infuse it with all their flavor, infuse it with all the taste. And it's like when the uncles cook the noodles well, the noodles itself is really good. The texture, very nice. The smell coming out from the noodles, also very good. And the noodles are so good that you do not need to have the sambal to add in extra flavor into the noodles itself. You can just taste the natural goodness from the soup stock. The only issue I have is this is the $8 portion, and the portion is a bit small. But other than that, it is a really good noodle. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me for my top 3 favorite Hokkien Mees in Singapore. These are my favorite places to go. I'm sure there are other places which I haven't been yet, which may be better. Hopefully, I can visit them soon and change the ranking in my list. So, if you have any recommendations of places which I should try, please write in the comments. And hope you enjoyed what you see so far. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to join me for my next food adventure. Bye bye.